Yeah, okay. Hi. Uh, if you look at these glasses here in front of me, this is just not a typical afternoon at the Boomer Brief. What this actually is a wine tasting. Although this would make a pretty nice afternoon at Blogger headquarters, but not a typical day for me. What we're going to do this afternoon is do a virtual wine tasting. Now, what's a virtual wine tasting? I don't have any idea. I've never done one before. I've done wine tastings, a lot of wine tastings, but never done a virtual wine tasting. Were you missing the air quotes in that? Here, I'll do it again. This is a virtual wine tasting. See, it adds a little more ambiance, or a little more emphasis, I guess, if I use the air quotes. But anyway, so we're going to do this today with our good friends at Jacobs Creek. They're an Australian winemaker. Down there in the on the other side of the world, and we're going to be logging on here in just a minute, and we're going to see how this goes. We've got 5 wines here in front of me. We've got a couple of whites and 3 reds, and I think we're going to have some fun with this. So we're going to record it, and if it works, hey, it works. But we're going to give our friends at Jacobs Creek a good taste test here and see how it turns out. So without further ado, I'm going to log on. So this will be the really uncool part of this. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so how'd this turn out? Well, I got to tell you, the wines were wonderful. Jacobs Creek makes some excellent wines. We tried their Jacobs Creek Reserve Dry Riesling, which is this bad boy right here. We also tried their Chardonnay, the Reserve Chardonnay, which is right here. We also tried their Cabernet, which you can tell by the empty glass I like quite a bit. We tried their Reserve Pinot Noir, which is right here. And, of course, we tried their famous Shiraz. A lot of people that know Jacobs Creek probably know them for their Shiraz. It's an excellent wine. So what did I think? Well, wines that we tasted here were great. My favorite, you can tell real easy. If you kind of look at the empty glasses here, it's pretty easy to tell which ones I like the best. My favorite, hands down, has got to be their Shiraz. It's got a nice earthy taste, a really bold, hearty Shiraz. I detected notes of black pepper, maybe some flecks of chocolate, dark chocolate in it. It's a wonderful wine. The Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, of course, is an excellent wine. Here I've got just a little bit left. I'm going to toss it back. It's delicious wine, ready to go right now. Would be great with a steak or really anything that you would want to serve it with. Shoot, I would have it with bean dip. I mean, I just think it's a great wine. Their Reserve Adelaide Hills Pinot Noir is a wonderful wine. It's soft. It's got a really nice balance. It's a full-bodied Pinot. A lot of Pinots that you get out there can be kind of watery. You don't find that with this Pinot. Like I say, some Pinots can be thin. This Pinot can really stand up by itself and really hold its own. Would be great with a nice steak. There's a wonderful little wine. The one that surprised me the most was their Barossa Dry Riesling. I'm not a big white wine drinker, and I don't really like Rieslings because they tend to be sweet. This one isn't sweet at all. The dryness of it really makes this a very nice white wine. I came across notes of citrus, maybe a little bit of pear, but it's a wonderfully dry Riesling, which is something that you don't see very often. And their Chardonnay is a delightful little wine. It was really soft and buttery, all the great notes that you would expect in a great Pinot, or in a great Chardonnay. I'm sorry, I was still thinking about the Pinot. All in all, I'd give them all a thumbs up. They're excellent wines, and they're competitively priced. I think each of the wines that we tasted here this afternoon probably retail for about $12.99 or so, give or take, depending on what part of the country you live in. So it's certainly an every day of the week, every night of the week type of wine. So I think that lends itself to encouraging people to get out there and try them a little more. So do yourself a favor. Get out there and go to Costco, go to Target or wherever it is that your local wine shop, and check out some of these great Jacobs Creek wines. You're not going to be disappointed. Well, that's all for now. Sadly, this glass is empty. This was my favorite Shiraz, but there's one little drop left, so we're going to toss it back and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, that's a great little wine.